Hello and welcome back. Hello and welcome to JayEmm on Cars, New Zealand. Yes, I'm in New Zealand. JayEmm isn't, he's back pretty much, well, down there I suppose, on the other side of the world. And I'm on holiday, which is wonderful. But when we saw the car that my brother owns, that we were going to be driving around, I sent JayEmm a picture and he said we just had to review it for the channel. So, without any further ado, this is what I've been driving around in for the last week. What car, you ask? It's this, a Honda 1995 Odyssey. I've never seen one before, and I will probably, hopefully, never see one again. So, this car has some quite advanced systems. It's got 4 wheels, 4 doors, and a boot that sometimes stays shut. On the paperwork, it says it's blue, which it's clearly not, it's grey. And it has a 2.1 petrol engine which does absolutely nothing, linked to a automatic gearbox which is rubbish, which goes to a 4-wheel drive system, which is 4-wheel drive. All in all, this goes together to give me an MPG of about 12, which is about as bad as Rolls-Royce and worse than the fire engines. It's not brilliant. On the subject of the engine, when you lift up the bonnet and have a look inside here, there are the very obvious signs that this is overheated quite recently. Everything in here is stained and showing the signs of a not very happy engine and cooling system. Furthermore, in the 1,000 kilometres, well, just under 1,000 kilometres I've done in this, I've gone through not just one of these, but 2 of these. And it needs oil again, because it is drinking oil ridiculously. I think I worked it out to be about 1 litre per 200 kilometres. That's bad. Apparently the mechanic my brother took this to said, don't worry about it, it will be fine. Yeah, I suppose if we keep topping up it will be fine, but I'm on bottle number 3 now. I don't put this much oil into my own cars. So one of the more non-standard modifications made to this car is this bed. Turned it into a bit of a camper. The bed's not that bad. I've slept on it when the road's shut. That's a thing in New Zealand. The road's shut and you can't get home. And basically it's pretty similar to the Toyota Privia and the JayEmm took to Romania. Only I don't think I'd want to share this one with JayEmm. We're not quite at double bed stage. So, moving away from the bedroom, the rest of the interior is pretty drab. It's grey fabric, it's grey carpet, it's grey roofline, it's grey trim. There's a bit of black in there for the plastic inserts, the instruments and the buttons. But apart from that, it's really non-exciting, even for a people carrier. The notable achievements of the car are that it has dual air conditioning here in the front and also up here in the back for the guys who are sat in the back of it, which was quite a big achievement in 1995. Of course it doesn't work, which is disappointing, but to be expected. But the entire cabin area is brought together by the Super Mario figure that came pre-installed by one of the previous owners. And that really is a highlight of this car. The dash is simplistic. The dash is simple. There we go. Another interesting non-working feature are these, which are a TV antenna, which doesn't work because there's no TV, and even if there was, I suspect that in line with everything else in the car, it just won't. I wasn't expecting to review a car out here, so I've not brought a microphone, which means I've got no air conditioning. I've got to put the windows up. So forgive me when I say this is going to be a short review. When the car starts. So, first things to note about this car. The selector doesn't always correspond with what you've selected with the lever here. And so apparently that means it hasn't engaged properly. So if you stop in traffic for some time, you put it into park or neutral, because you're sat there for time, because it's New Zealand and some of their roads aren't brilliant. You then have to fiddle around like a complete moron, holding everybody up as you try to get the thing to reselect to gear to actually have progress again. So, not brilliant, we'll go with that. Other negative points, there is a hole in the door here, so there's nothing to put your elbow on apart from just the fabric and sharp pieces of metal. Metal? Plastic? It's not plastic, metal is, it's plastic. What else is exciting? It's really hot without air conditioning. It's unpleasant. Otherwise, driving the thing, it's not that bad. It feels heavy because it is heavy. It's just under 2,000 kilograms. It's slow because it is. It's got no power and it's automatic. The brakes do at least work. They're quite nice. There is nothing at all I get from the steering wheel. We kind of just point and hope. It's the cruise down to Christchurch, which was 360k. That was actually quite nice. It was a nice. Some of the roads were quite nice and wide, which were gentle, and the car itself was alright. It's a nice cruiser. Trying to go over the mountains as part of the main road was unpleasant. There's very little power. The gearbox is very slow to make up its mind with what it wants. And it's rough when it does decide to change, like there. And it's not what you want for trying to drive over the top of the hills. Now, cars in New Zealand are more expensive than back home. My brother picked this up for about 1,500 New Zealand dollars. Now, that translates roughly to UK prices for about 750 quid, which for a driving working car, oh god, it doesn't look like that, I suppose isn't too bad. It's got various problems, as mentioned. No air conditioning, as you can tell by the sheen coming down my face, which presumably is an easy fix, he just hasn't done it. The fact it drinks oil like something stupid, and also when you go to full lock, there is the most horrendous grating, crumpling noise that comes out of the transmission. I don't know what it is, but it sounds like it's not fixable. There's a rule in New Zealand, which is if you're driving somewhere and you have someone stuck behind you, you pull over and then you let them pass if they're travelling faster than you and you're driving slowly. And people who don't do this are referred to as road maggots. So at this moment in time, I've been a road maggot, so we should find somewhere suitable, like here, and we'll just pull over and let matey boy here pass. There we go. Brilliant. This isn't fast, it's not efficient, and I'm struggling for anything really good to say about. It's a car, and it has allowed me to go and do what I want to do on holiday, which has been fantastic, and I'm very grateful to Nick for lending it to me, and he's quite proud of it, and considering the money I suppose he's paid for it, it's not bad. There's nothing fundamentally wrong with it. It's relatively comfy, and more importantly, what he wants, it's ideal. He only lives, we're coming up to where he works, which is just in front where I'm going to spin around, and he lives about 10 minutes that way. So all he needs this for is to go shopping, and when they go away kayaking or adventuring, he's got somewhere to sleep. So for that, it's perfect. For everything else though, it's really unpleasant. Oh, there's nothing from the air conditioning. It's full power, and it's just doing nothing. It's just... Oh, bloody hell, what is that? It smells of heat and failure. That kind of smell of a car. Yeah, there's the noise at full lock. There is, from the air conditioning, oh my god, I think I've made it work. Oh my... There is cold air coming out of the air conditioning. I didn't think it did this, but it does. This is fantastic. Okay, cool air. It's definitely not cold. It's cool. There is some functionality to the air conditioning system. I think most of what they do is just drive around with the windows open with an arm hanging out, looking cool. The switches for the windows, they're wired up different ways, so each one you have to do a different way. So I push forward to bring this window down, I press back to press that window down, which has the camera stuck to it. Because, yeah. The positive points, I suppose, for this and what I've enjoyed are nice big windscreen at the front. It's giving me a really good view of all the roads that I've been driving around. The ride's actually quite comfortable. The suspension's soft, it's not like a Lotus, and it rolls as it goes around the corners, but the roads are a lot better here as well, generally. Good surface, a bit undulating going up and down, but the quality is a lot better. There are certain places where I've learned things like, that's a big bus and that's a little road. That's not what I learned, that's just what's going on. When the Kiwis put up a sign that says, slippery when wet, what the sign actually means is, this road is made of ice. When it rains, it becomes icy. There is no traction. I drove across it and went, wow, that looks slick. I gave the wheel a little shake. Just nothing, the car carried on straight out. Yeah, that definitely is slippery, well worth the sign. It's not a sign in vain, that's a necessary sign. Other interesting thing about New Zealand, don't need car insurance. I'm not insured on this. It's advisable, but not mandatory. Which is interesting. The best thing actually about it is the happy memories that it brings back of the Privia and driving that across Europe. And because that was about the same level of shite. Good fun. And basically a solid car. If my brother was prepared to spend some money on this, sorting out the paintwork, particularly the oil leak and the four-wheel drive system, it would actually be not a bad car, apart from the just crippling fuel inefficiency, which is just, it's not even funny. I filled this up, not yesterday, day before yesterday, brimmed the tank, and it's got like less than a quarter in it, and we've done, oh god, we've done like 60k. It hasn't gone very well at all. Oh, that's abysmal. It's about a 50 litre tank, and so that's abysmal. I mean, the roads around here aren't good. The drive to where we are follows one of these mountains and just weaves in and out, and it's constant acceleration, deceleration, round tight corners and full lock, uphill, downhill, and it's not a drive that this car enjoys. Update on the air conditioning, it's no longer cool, it's now warm, and for people who have had cars like this, you'll know the smell, but it's the smell of failure. It's the smell of something's very hot in there that shouldn't be smelling like this. But I've enjoyed it, and again, thank you very much, Nick, for lending it to me. It has made my holiday from being able to use it. Yeah, it's quite fun. It's been good. Most of these roads I've driven along and thought, God, I wish I had my MR2 for this. These would have been amazing roads for the MR2. I mean, I would have died, properly, well and truly, I would have died. I'd be off the edge, fallen down a ravine, into the water, dead. So, this hasn't done that to me, so that's a big plus point in this' favour. The MR2 certainly would have. I would be dead. But yeah, all in all, probably wouldn't buy one myself. But for this, it's been fun. And New Zealand, well, yeah, put that into park. New Zealand's quite a country, and it's one of those places that you have to have a car to visit them. You have to have a car to get out there and visit it. So if this is what I've got, this has made the trip. But yeah, it's obviously a genetic thing having crap cars. Because This makes my ones look a lot better. I've got to get out of this car. It's just... Oh, God.